we're very much in like a fail fast mindset. So we'll try something. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but we'll try anything. Because if you have the opportunity, why not take advantage of it?
All right, everyone, I am joined by Andy and Bryant of Westinghouse Power Equipment. And today we're talking about Walmart, how Walmart has impacted their business, in addition to general e-commerce strategy. And before we get into the meat of the conversation, I think it'd be great for both of you to introduce yourself and talk about what you do.
Yeah, so I am Bryant Strayer. I'm our VP of e-commerce at Westinghouse Outdoor Power Equipment. Andy?
Yeah, I'm Andy Keller, Director of E-commerce at Westinghouse Outdoor Power Equipment. So I oversee mostly direct-to-consumer e-commerce, including Walmart Marketplace.
Cool. Let's kind of start generally about Walmart, right? So we're at Let's Grow, which is Walmart's in-person event, their first ever in-person. Really cool so far. This is day one, but yesterday was day zero, and it was still kind of popping, which is really cool. There's a lot of education here about Walmart. So let's generally start with how Walmart has impacted your business, talking about e-commerce specifically. So what do you think?
Yeah, so we've been selling on Walmart Marketplace for a little over a year now. I think we launched in July of last year, and it's been just an amazing facet of our business. The growth was immediate, and it was very fast, and it was very rapid in terms of revenue as well. So we've grown tremendously on there, and it's something that we really had a need for in terms of our SKU mix and being able to reach consumers in ways that our current marketplaces and vendors weren't able to reach. So in our opinion, it's been an amazing partnership so far in the last year.
What brought you to Walmart in the first place? Like, what caught your attention about them?
You always want to meet the consumer where they're shopping. Obviously, Walmart is among the top, if not the top, in the e-commerce game in certain facets. So we saw it as a big miss on our end, not being on Walmart. And previously, we'd been on the vendor side, and it wasn't a great fit. And we saw the marketplace as a great opportunity to have our business in the right spot on Walmart and have control over pricing, have control over inventory fulfillment and everything like that. And it's just been amazing for us so far.
That's great. Talking about meeting people where they're at, that's one specific thing that sets Walmart apart from other players in the space, other marketplaces in general. How else, and maybe there's overlap there, but how else do you think, what sets Walmart apart from other marketplaces in the space?
Yeah, honestly, for us, it's really the human element. I can call somebody on the Walmart team from the account side. I can call them from the WFS side. I can call them from, all the way up to the general manager side I'd say for us, we're still a small business on Walmart. Easily reachable, easy to work with. They're always helpful. And I feel like they're very considerate to your challenges and making things work for both you and your customer. So I think that's definitely unique on the marketplace side. Some other companies might not be doing that. It's very hard to reach a human in some spots. They might prioritize you or a customer, but never both. So I think Walmart is really well positioned right now in terms of how they're approaching their business on the marketplace side. And I think it's going to bode well for them in the future because we like working with them. Customers like buying from them, and it's been a great experience so far.
Yep. Bryant, maybe we'll start with you for this next one because we're transitioning into e-commerce talk, all right? That was Walmart. E-com, of course, can involve Walmart, but just generally e-commerce in general. What are the biggest challenges that you've run into this year in 2023? At the time of recording this, it's August, right? So we're moving into, which is crazy to say because time's flown by. We're moving into the end of the year. A lot's happened already. Biggest roadblocks you've run into?
I've been thinking about this. I think the biggest challenge is kind of just the post-COVID environment and the way consumer spending has changed. And it's a little harder to convert customers this year. A lot of research, not a lot of conversions. So just finding ways and having to innovate and figure out, how is it different value? Is it different product mix? Is it different advertising strategies? How do we kind of adapt in the post-COVID world where money's a little tighter, market's a little tighter, lot more competition? How do we really reach the customer and find out what's going to make them convert? That's been the toughest thing this year. We're comping well, but it has been a struggle because what we've traditionally won on isn't what we're winning on this year. So we've had to kind of shift to among products, different segments within a product. So on generators, from very high price points that did well during COVID to lower price points that are doing well now. When it comes to channel approach, it's figuring out, you have new partners like Walmart, more value oriented consumer. So figuring out what we have in our assortment or how we can make something in our assortment really fit what consumers are looking for. I love that challenge because it's fun. We get to innovate, make every day a little different, but it's work for sure. So that's definitely been a challenge this year.
It sounds like it takes a lot of proactivity to stay ahead of the curve and to change proactively over time. Because if you just did the same thing, you wouldn't adapt, and then you'd probably find yourself in a really difficult spot, right? So how do you, and you're speaking to other brands, right? So in this, you're speaking to other brands that might be asking themselves the same thing. How do I stay ahead? How have you successfully stayed ahead of the curve and adapted to these changes?
So we are early adopters on everything. One of the things I like about our business and the way we approach market is we are an early adopter, and we have we're very much in like a fail fast mindset. So we'll try something. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but we'll try anything. Because if you have the opportunity, why not take advantage of it? I know this isn't the Walmart part of the segment. One of the reasons we're doing really well with Walmart is Walmart wants to innovate. So we came here yesterday, we met with the team. I mean, one thing I think has been interesting about Walmart is they actually will listen to our challenges and then help us kind of adapt and figure out, how do we solve this, whether it be fulfillment time to customer. The priority, the bulk of what we sell is heavy, bulky. That is a Achilles heel for a lot of retailers. We have we're experts. Part of the reason we're on Walmart Marketplace and not, a vendor on the 1P side is because we're really good at heavy, bulky shipping. We're have rates that compete with some of the top retailers. So how do we leverage that? But how do we also work with Walmart to project leading fulfillment times to customers, out of our 5 facilities in the country? So it's just finding those opportunities to kind of connect. And then, it's interesting because you kind of feel like it's almost like you can't fight City Hall. It's Walmart. It's a giant corporation. How can you change their processes? Like we are 2 guys in a small business. Kinda,
2 guys on a couch.
We're like, how do we figure out, how to connect with you? It's been easy to kind of partner and figure out how do we approach this and solve this in a way that works, like with the retailer as a partner. Walmart's made that happen, but that's part of it too. And adapting is just finding ways you can partner and grow.
It sounds like, I like what you said about trying new things out, failing fast. Like if something doesn't work, leaving that behind. Obviously, like you guys have had success diving into Walmart, and that's a good example of like trying something out. It works. Keep on going, doubling down on that. Let's talk about kind of what I'd like you both to answer what you think might change in the coming year. Let's say 2024. 2023 had a lot of different themes. Profitability has been a big theme post-COVID. A lot of people are talking about like how to stay profitable in a world where margins are smaller than ever before. There are a lot of different problems that rose up. AI is big right now, right? These are just examples of trends. 2024, both of you can answer, right? How do you expect e-commerce to change?
It's like 2024, like short term, I think AI is the thing I'm most excited about. We sell generators. It's a complicated product. It fits any application. Anything you can plug into an outlet, which is pretty much everything in the world, is a different application. So it's different consumer sets. It's interesting. And I don't know, when AI will kind of roll out on Walmart or when it will roll out on different platforms, but I'm excited about helping consumers in a buying guide. So if you want to buy a generator, you have no idea what you're doing. Like, it's like my first day at work. I go and sit down. I'm like, we have 40 of these things. Like, I have no idea why the big one's different than the small one. And it's having something that can take our content or something and actually like explain it and break it down to consumer. It's like, okay, I'm an electrician on a job site. We don't always have prime power from utility power. Like, what works for me? And like having something on a platform that can say, well, there are OSHA regulations. So here are OSHA regulated generators that are compliant. These you can buy and not get in trouble on the job site. You're not going to get that from reading bullet points where everything's SEO optimized because that's a niche application. But if it's something can apply that really helps kind of reach those like consumers that aren't in the I don't know, just like
really specific
the
questions.
median of the middle of the curve.
Yeah, you're meeting the consumer where they're at.
Yeah,
and you're using perhaps an AI tool that can do that for you. That's huge.
And the way that's going to impact, the e-commerce on platforms is mostly driven by your success in the search engine results page and where you pop up. And what that means is, products that serve more niche applications don't always pop at the top. So
interesting.
It's going to kind of decentralize the way search and product discoverability and visibility has worked. And I think that's going to be really interesting to see how to adapt and overcome some of the challenges that come with that, or just embrace the opportunities of, the stuff that was hard to make visible because maybe it wasn't a top volume mover.
Yep.
But it is still very much an in-demand product that you're having trouble getting in front of people. Like suddenly you're going to have these tools that you can use and leverage to get those products in front of consumers. It's going to be interesting to see how to leverage that.
Niche discoverability, that's a really interesting thing. I feel like I don't hear a whole lot of people talk about.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty big problem. And that's a cool thing to solve with AI. What do you think? It doesn't have to, it could follow along the same string of thought here, or you could go with something completely different.
Yeah. So dealing mostly in direct to consumer, I think that it's kind of a boring answer, but we're just trending more and more towards a unified consumer expectation for what their shopping experience is like. So it's convenience, and you see all these products that Walmart's rolling out, other retailers are rolling out. Everything is gearing towards the consumer expectation that this product will arrive to you as fast as possible. The information that you're seeing on there is correct. The offer is the best offer. Nobody is special anymore from the retailer side or from the seller side. You either have to adapt or perish on a lot of this stuff. So a lot of this is a challenge for someone like us who doesn't have a bulky. Like the expectation for the consumer is still like, get me this as fast as possible. And you're seeing it everywhere. Like, customer experience, customer returns, customer service, all this stuff is a standard expectation, whether you're on Shopify, eBay, Walmart,
TikTok,
anywhere. You're shopping on Instagram. Like you have a standard that a customer expects nowadays in 2023 into 2024. Like you're not going to be the special snowflake that is going to be different from this because they're just going to somebody else or a different marketplace or a different retailer. So adapting your business to doing this, I think is going to be something I see a lot of people doing going forward, because if you don't, somebody else is going to step in and they're going to take your spot because, customers are going to marketplaces, customers are going to websites, and if they don't get that experience, then it's a reflection of you. It's not a reflection of FedEx. It's not a reflection of your LTL carrier. It's not a reflection of your customer service team. It's just a reflection that you don't meet the standard that consumers expect nowadays.
And consumers will, to no fault of their own, they'll hold on to that, right? Even if they have a negative experience, that's what it is. They will hold on to that negative experience for quite some time.
Yeah, and even if it's not even like a bad experience, it's just maybe not even an innovative experience. Like if the experience for 10 years has been you get an LTL shipment in 7 days and now you don't deliver in 3 to 4, that's a you problem. Because you didn't adapt, you didn't change, even though nothing has changed on your end. The consumer has a different expectation now than they did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and honestly 12 months ago. You see these products that they're rolling out, the new shipping, everything like that. Marketplaces, retailers constantly innovating. You have to keep up with it, and you have to adapt your business to do it.
That's a good responsibility to put on sellers and brands to continue innovating in that specific regard. Both really good points for what we could expect in 2024. Also, I think very realistic too. I think both of those, sometimes people's answers are like, who knows? Those are, I see actually like happening. So anyway, that's it. Thank you both for taking the time to be here.
Thank you.
Great conversation, and looking forward to hopefully more in the future. Who knows? But hopefully that was very helpful to whoever's watching this. And thank you both.
Yep. Thank you.